what some of these guys are practically doing, so we can see possible areas where we can possibly partner together, and we can be able to plug in every one of us and see how we can be able to firstly co-create value together, maybe get practical ideas that can enable us to solve problems as we create value in the process. So maybe for starters, I was thinking, if that's fine, Josh, we would have you in action. Take your time, run us through what you're doing with Clinics on Clouds. I know all these guys, they're doing incredible stuff in IT. Take us through briefly, but clearly what you are doing as much as Clinics on Clouds. I don't know if you have done that fully and satisfactorily, so that we have an appreciation of what you're doing. We want to see where maybe the opportunities are, if you have, as you present what you're doing, various models of application of what you're doing to who we are, so we can see where we can plug in, what we can do together to impact community in a second community. I hope that makes sense. Yeah.
Thank you, Bishop. So, with Clinics on Clouds, we are a technology company. And as a technology company, we came up with a concept or an idea to promote preventative healthcare. And as I mentioned earlier on, I work with other people. One of our partners, his name is Abe. He's a guy who lives in India. He was not feeling well in the rural areas, and he couldn't get the help that he needed at that particular time. But at that particular time, he saw so many money ATMs at that particular time. That's when that vision started. And then we created two products. How we linked up, I guess, is a story for another day because of time. But we then created what we called a health ATM kiosk.
Media guys, are you able to help us maybe with the graphics of this, if we can be able to see what? Clinics on Cloud. Okay, there we go.
So, as you can see on the screen, we have the health ATM kiosk, which is a kiosk which we use for preventative health care. And in this kiosk, it can diagnose more than 63 parameters. And I'm talking about all these parameters, starting from your diabetes. You can get your diabetes test and get your results in a few minutes. In fact, all those parameters that I'm talking about, you can go deep as having your anemia test. You can do a vision test on that machine. You can also do your cardiac ECG test, your heart test. So combining all these tests all together, I'll give for example in Harare, where we are coming from, to do all these tests, they can cost you more than $600. And one of the challenges that you will face when you do those tests is you are not getting your results instantly. You will go to the lab, and especially I've been in that situation in an area where I've gone for a checkup and I go to the lab on Thursday and I'm told to come back on Tuesday. So those days can be critical for somebody who needs immediate attention. So with this machine, you can get all your results in 10 minutes.
Wow.
So all the 63 parameters in 10 minutes?
Yes, 10, 15 minutes, and it's not going to end there. We have designed also a telemedicine feature where you'll be able to be connected to a doctor. And when you speak to that doctor, when you call him, the doctor, when he answers the call, is able to see all those tests that have been done. So now it's easier for him to make a medical decision. So all that is done within a space of 15 and 20 minutes. And looking at our people who are in the rural areas, I know we have medical doctors in here. One of the greatest challenges is to get a seasoned doctor to go and stay in a rural, remote area. They would never do that. Not because they don't want to, but the lifestyle. They don't want to go and stay in areas where there is no sanitation. They don't want to stay in areas where there is no electricity. So now we can now connect those people who are in the remotest of the remote areas using just 2G Wi-Fi and have them speak to a doctor, and then they can get a solution. So one of the challenges that we have solved is we have made that whether you're in the urban areas or rural areas, we are now making healthcare accessible the same way. It's no longer about the people in the cities and the ones who get to see and speak to the seasoned doctors, but it's now at the same level. Everybody's able to get treatment with the same doctors that you'll never see in those areas. The same.
I think that's amazing. So, a community in a remote area can now access healthcare like anybody else around the world.
Yes, that is correct. I can give you an example of this case study. It's okay. For here, I'll say it's a case study, but it's happening. There's a place in rural Zimbabwe. It's called Kwasina Estate, Chireti Triangle area. So that community has about 20,000 people, and there was one clinic which was being run by the company called, I think, Tangat. They didn't sugar, but they closed down. Yes, when they closed down, they closed the clinic, leaving all those people exposed. The nearest clinic was Chireti Hospital, was about 43 kilometers. The road network was not very good at all. So people would walk for 9 hours. People would walk for 9 hours, going there, and sometimes when you go there, the doctor is not there today, and then you would have to wait 3-4 days until you come back. But what we then just did was just to put a container, just a regular shipping container, where we just installed one clinic, and then we trained one person. So now that gap of people having to walk that distance was instantly solved, because now those people